So many new Doors update leaks have come out, including the real theme of the garden subfloor, Stardust uses, admin panel overhaul, run saving, new and overhauled items, teased entities for the garden and mines, extra rewards from badges, and most importantly, bathrooms. That's right, we're covering all of that and more in today's video. We're going to be going over these leaks chronologically, so we're going to start with this one, where you can see that in the floor selection screen, you can now select the rooms for a price of 10 Stardust. I also think this is going to carry over to the garden subfloor because it just makes sense. The back door will not cost any Stardust just because of the fact that you can already get to it easily from the lobby. Also, a really big thing here is the admin panel is now coming to subfloors, which is awesome because it's just giving more variety and uses to the admin panel, which is already a crazy game pass. A few things Elsplash confirmed is the fact that if you use the admin panel while going to the floor, you don't have to pay any Stardust, which is fine because you can't get any progress with the admin panel either way. Next, we have this 15-second clip with a player doing some weird things with a crucifix in the mines. It doesn't take long for you to realize that the crucifix is actually just masking the items that the player's actually holding. The first item that we see is he's switching off a flashlight. Then you can see a golden blaster from party mode, which you can tell it is that just because of the spinning animation and the sound effects. Then we go to some sort of starlight item, might be the jug of starlight or the vial of starlight, that makes a player glow and go pretty fast for a few seconds. But the interesting part of this teaser is what the next item is. Well, it's got new sound effects, a new particle effect, and new animations that we've never seen before. Or have we? We've actually heard the sound effect before in the audio teaser that we know is in the garden subfloor. So we know that this is an item that's going to be present there. The player holds his hand out, and then there's this noise that sounds like something metal. And there's some weird particles falling off of it that some people say looks like water. Here it is. So it could be something that has to do with water, like a metal watering can. Then the crucifix turns white as a glow stick being thrown. Noise happens, which in my opinion is probably just it turning white as if it's glowing like a glow stick would. Then the player gets screech and the video ends. This next teaser is pretty interesting. They said, today we're working on save files. The plan is when you're going to a new floor / subfloor, the host would have the option to either continue the run or to save the run for later. This is the picture just showing what it could look like. Then some people in the comments asked a few questions like, does it also save when disconnecting? And he said, no, that's pretty much impossible. And then just for anyone who is worrying about the fact that it could just make the game not a roguelike anymore, Elsplash made sure to let everyone know that this is just for when you continue run for later, not saving so that you can go back to it if you die. Now Elsplash also posted another video just to show what this saving could look like, and it has a bunch of little secrets that are hidden in there that we can break down. Even in the very first frame, you can already see two secret details. First of all, the locks that block off the room's entrance are now themed like Curious Light with a little star icon. And there's also this really weird compass-like item in the player's inventory. I have no idea what this could do. Maybe it could point where items are. I have no idea, but it's really interesting. Then when the player opens up the door, it brings up the screen where you can either continue the run or save for later, and the run seems to have a name, which is, I don't know, with a little sword icon. Then the player clicks a save file. Now back in the lobby, we can see what the new UI looks like, where you can see the new save button, and just how the floors and subfloor section is more organized and separate. You can see the back door and the rooms and this really big redacted box. And what's weird about it is that there's a different color on the top of it and the bottom, which makes space for two buttons. And I really don't think we're getting a second subfloor. I think that the second button on the bottom is actually party mode, because it's different enough for it not to be a modifier, but instead its own subfloor. Also, it's revealed that that one blurred button is actually a backpack, which continues to prove my theory right about the item skins being inside of this button. And they go into the rooms, which I don't remember being this yellow when they first go in, but whatever, and you can see they have 10,000 Stardust. There's also a leak somewhere that shows that you can buy extra save slots for Robux. And the new craziest leak is a screenshot inside of the actual garden subfloor inside of a cabin, and it's crazy because you can already see a few things that could tease an entity, like this hat, which looks like the exact same model that is on the groundskeeper. I'll show it to you right here. And this picture, I've heard a few people say that it looks like Abraham, or Figure's brother. Then on top of the fireplace, there's this weird looking moose? A wendigo? I don't know, with a glowing eye. It could be an entity, it could be a hazard, or it could just be a decoration. There's a ton of potted plants. You can see the door that we already know is the one from the subfloor, and this picture gives us an idea of the actual name of the floor and the actual theme, where it could be some sort of summer camp, some sort of campground, or some sort of state park or provincial park. I don't know, but I do like the atmosphere and the tone of this image. It's great. Keep up the good work, devs. Next up, they're changing a few of the items, like the skeleton key that they want to make either infinite durability or have 5 durability or something around that. And the bulk light has some weird icon below it, which we'll talk about that later. And in the background, you can see a room from the garden subfloor. I used AI to remove the things. It worked. This is what it looks like. You can see a tree and some bricks on the ground, some bushes, and a small building. To the pink petal leaf icon that I was just talking about, and this is it sitting in a locked room on a table. A while back, we got a leak about this pink herbiviridis, and this is exactly what I think that is. And I don't think it's going to affect us, the player, but instead the items. So you know how the herbiviridis will give a regeneration effect over time to the player? I think that's what it's going to do, but to the items. We'll see if I'm right. Now here are the bathrooms. We can see it's a bathroom obviously because of the toilets, the sink, and the drain on the floor. There's vines all over, and this blurred out image of a bunch of vines together with this pink ring. Some people think that this is the same pink flower from the other teaser. Now we have a new admin panel overhaul, including custom death messages and 3 tabs to organize all the new buttons. Sally will be spawnable, as they used it for the icon for the entities, and I don't think they just use her for the icon and not have her in the admin panel itself. They were also planning on adding the Draco Bloxer and all the items from ranked mode. Next up, this leak seems boring, and at first I thought it was as well. But as you can see, there is one locker that is mangled and weirdly distorted with this weird fleshy creature inside, which could definitely be a new entity that's inside the mines, where if you open up the wrong locker, it jumps out at you, or some sort of different mechanic. This is actually a scrapped idea that they are planning to add back if the community thinks it's a good idea. They're also adding extra rewards and prizes for difficult badges in the game, like a hard place, which will give you 25 starlight, 1 revive, and 100 knobs. In this picture, you can also see 2 new badges that are going to be in the general tab, which means it doesn't have anything to do with entities really, or doesn't have anything to do with beating a floor. So what could they be? Well, I actually have no idea, and I'm not going to try to figure out in this video. The final leak for today is the stupid horse. Cheddar's gonna be mad about this one. It's actually a statue like the one we see in the courtyard of a horse. It's pretty weird. It could be in the garden. I have no idea. It has a little pedestal that could say something, like how the other one says limbo. This one could say something else, lore related, but who knows. We already learned so much about this update with the leaks, and we're going to learn so much more in the next couple of days. So stick around on the channel for updates. So thank you so much for watching. Have an impeccable day, and goodbye.